Welcome. I'm Becky Watson from Lighthouse Cove, and this is the DirectLine Podcast. Today I'm joined by Melissa Chesney-Booth, one of our Lighthouse Council members. She's going to talk about her journey in the IDD field and give us a behind-the-scenes look at the Lighthouse Cove Council, who they are, what they do, and why serving on the council is such a meaningful way to make an impact. Thank you, Melissa, for joining me today.
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm honored you asked.
Awesome. Well, I guess let's start. Maybe just tell us a little bit about yourself and your role in the disabilities field.
I've been an independent DSP for about 15 years now. I've been supporting multiple clients in multiple counties, and I absolutely love my work.
Fantastic. Well, tell us then, what do you enjoy most about the work you do?
I truly consider myself to have one of the best jobs in the world. I mean, when I go to work every day, my bosses, the people I support, they greet me with just pure joy and gratitude just for showing up. And every day when I go home, I get to know that I not only made a living, I made a difference. And I just don't know a lot of jobs out there where that happens.
I completely agree. I feel the same way and have my whole entire existence in the field of disability. Completely agree with you. Well, maybe you can tell us a little bit about what inspired you to be a part of the Lighthouse Cove Council.
Well, the years I've spent in the field have helped me see a need for advocacy, especially on the part of the independent DSPs. I think we're one of the missing voices at the table. And so when Lighthouse Cove announced that they were seeking council members and they were also looking for independent DSPs, I was very excited to be able to be a part of that.
Okay. Fantastic. We were excited to have you be a part of it. For someone who may not know, what does a council member look like, being a council member, in your words?
I would basically describe it as a behind the scenes look is what it looks like. We get to have an up and close look at all of the up and coming events that Lighthouse Cove is putting on, such as the appreciation event, the DSP summit. And so we have unique opportunities at these events to be able to network with the keynote speakers, learn from industry professionals, and also be heard as well.
Yeah. And I can honestly say Lighthouse Cove could not do what we do without our council's members. There's just no way, and we value each and every one of you and are very grateful for what you bring. So maybe tell us, how has serving on the council helped you grow professionally or personally?
I think the networking I just mentioned has really helped me grow my circle more than anything. I've made so many connections that I continue to benefit from both personally and professionally, but not only just me. I mean, through being on the council, I've been able to make connections with speakers to my church, and those connections continue to benefit others. I've been able to meet new friends who have a passion for the same things that I do, and so that has been really wonderful.
Well, I love that. Can you share a moment maybe, or do you have a moment where you realized your voice mattered? Or maybe you made a difference, or it changed the way you think of something or your role in the field?
I think, again, just being asked to join the council for me was that moment that I realized I did have a voice that um, somebody wanted to hear. Because for a long time in this field, I had been attending Lighthouse Cove events as an independent DSP, trying to stay involved. I think a lot of people's view of an independent DSP is someone living at home, taking care of a family member. But that's not my personal experience. This is my career. I don't live with anyone that I support. And so for me, being able to attend these events and hear that there's an organization that's wanting to hear from independent DSPs to help them form decisions and plan these events was the moment that I really realized that we mattered too.
For sure. Yeah. Right. Our council, we're very proud of that. We are made up of DSPs, agency DSPs, throughout Ohio, as well as independent providers throughout Ohio. So we're very thankful to have, all those voices represented on our council. Why do you think it's important for Lighthouse Cove to hear directly from DSPs and frontline supervisors in the field? Why do you think that matters for us?
Well, I mean, because we're the ones who are out here living it and experiencing it in this ever-changing field. I'm very
Right.
thankful that the staff of Lighthouse Cove has so much experience in the field. But
Yep.
one of the reasons they are now on staff at Lighthouse Cove is because that's where they're needed. And so they've been pulled out of the field. And even someone who did this job for 20 years, if they did it 5 years ago, they wouldn't recognize how to do it today. When I
Yes.
got into this work 15 years ago, EVV, claims matching, and AI fraud investigations, all of these
Yep.
things that are, very at the forefront of our field right now were not there in the beginning. And so I think it's important that Lighthouse Cove continues to hear from people actively in the field because things are actively changing. And from one day to the next, the way that we
100%.
have to support people looks different each and every day. So
100%. Yeah. I started as a DSP in the field, and it is very different today
yeah.
than then, and things change so quickly. And I always refer to the council. There are boots on the ground.
hmm
They're doing that work, and they help advise us on what is happening, and even you had mentioned before, you guys help us plan the summit, and the supervisors and DSPs, they help tell us what is needed, what topics we need to be thinking about having and educating people on. And again, I say same thing. We could not do what we do without our council, and we are just so grateful for you guys. Um, we work closely with the council and every member on the council. And Melissa, you've just shown a really interest in advocacy. You yourself, I mean, the whole council does, but you yourself personally. I'm wondering, where does that passion come from for you?
I think I have to say God on that one. For as long as I can remember, I've been a person that hopes to help. If something can be made better and I can do something to help make it better, then I want to do it. And there's something in me that just can't sit by and not do it.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, I think if there was anything that inspired me a long time ago when I was a little girl, I heard the phrase, be the change you want to see in the world. And for some reason, that just really, really stuck with me. And so when I see a need for change, I just want to be involved.
I was going to ask you, when you hear the word advocacy, what does it mean to you? I'm thinking maybe you answered that. I'm not sure in that phrase, but I'm going
Yeah,
to ask you just in case. When you hear the word advocacy, what does it mean to you?
it means a chance to be that change.
Yeah, I love that. I love that so much. Yeah. So sometimes advocacy can feel intimidating. Again, we talked about change and how fast it happens, and I think the same thing happens when you're thinking about in our field the policy change, things like that, and advocating for those things can feel intimidating. What would you say to someone who wants to advocate or get involved, and maybe isn't sure where to begin or what to do? What advice would you have for someone?
Um, I think I would first just tell them that they're not alone. There are a lot of us out here who find it intimidating. And that's why having an organization like Lighthouse Cove to be involved with and kind of, join hands with you in the advocacy effort is so important. So I would encourage them to reach out to Lighthouse Cove, maybe consider joining the council.
Awesome. Great advice. Great advice. Um, okay, let's transition a little bit and talk about leadership. Do you think leadership comes with a title? Why or why not?
Um, I don't. I don't think leadership always comes with
Okay.
a title. I think independent DSPs are the perfect example of that. I don't have any team to lead. I have no frontline to supervise. But at the same time, I do have to take the lead every day in advocating for the people I support and just making sure that, their service plans are what they want them to be from how I know them. And, if I did not take that lead, I don't think I'd be successful in my position. So, I will never have the title, but I will always have the role.
I love it. Makes me think of John Maxwell. He's a author and a well-known um example of wrote many books on leadership, those kind of things, and he always says leadership is influence. Really, that's what it is. And I also think of our leadership launchpad. It's a professional development retreat we have twice a year, and kind of that mantra is everybody's a leader. It doesn't matter your title or your position. We all have influence, right? We all can be a leader. When we think about the council, that's what I think of. Every single person on the council is helping to lead what we do at Lighthouse Cove, and is a leader. And you just articulated that. I love that. Thank you. If someone's listening today and they were considering about applying or serving or being on the council, what would you tell them?
I would tell them absolutely that they should do that. I can only say positive things about the council since joining. Like I said, I've grown my circle. I now have a network of people who I know are passionate about the same things I am, that are encouraging me to be an advocate, and it just makes everything that I'm hoping to do in this field a little easier. So I would encourage them.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, again, we couldn't do what we do without the council. We have just enjoyed having you on the council immensely. We're kind of coming towards the end. I'm going to do a little bit of rapid fire, just a questionnaire for you to get to know you a little bit better and what you think. So I'm going to ask you a few questions and you just kind of give me that first thing that comes to mind. Okay.
Okay.
What's one thing that you like to do for fun?
Camping. I
Ooh.
like to be in nature. I like to be outside, hiking, camping with my dog.
All right. Well, you and Bethany, our executive director, have that in common. I did not know that.
I would live outside 24/7 if it was something people still did. So.
All right. Well, she does it like from I think it's April till like October. So you're gonna have to connect with her.
Her and I have to chat.
Every chance she can get pretty much every weekend. So yeah, that's pretty fun. All right. Well, what's one quality every great DSP should have, in your opinion?
Compassion.
Love it. Yep, definite. What's one word that describes the IDD profession?
Rewarding.
Oh, love it. Absolutely. Like you had mentioned earlier, it's that one job where you leave every day, and you made a difference. And it doesn't matter what you do in the field. You can be a DSP, you can be an independent provider DSP. You can, work in accounting. You can work in finance. You can be a SSA. You can be a program manager. You can literally do any job that there is in the field, and you leave that day knowing that job is making a difference in someone's life. It's the best ever.
Yeah.
All right. So what's your favorite Lighthouse Cove event? What's your favorite event we have?
I mean, I like the DSP appreciation events because they're about us.
Yep. Yeah. I think that's a hard question. I don't even know if I could answer it.
Yeah, I mean, they're all great.
I love them so much. Yeah, yeah. And then I'd say DSP appreciation event is probably my favorite too. And then I say that, and then we go to the next event. I'm like, no, this one's mine. No, this one's mine. But
yeah, they just keep getting better. So
yes, DSP appreciation event is yours. All right, I love it. I think that's mine too. But all right, closing question. If you could leave every DSP and frontline supervisor listening with one message, what would you want them to remember?
Keep going, please. You're so needed. Keep going.
Love it. I love it. That reminds me of Cheney on her council. She says keep going, and then she says the council is one way to help you keep going, right? To energize you, connect you to other people, network, and keep from burnout in our field. So
exactly.
Yeah, I love it. So, well, Melissa, thank you so much for joining us today and being my podcast guest. I've enjoyed our time together. Thank you for sharing your experiences and the important role that Lighthouse Cove Council plays in supporting the mission of Lighthouse Cove. If you're passionate about advancing the IDD profession and you would like to make a meaningful impact like Melissa's doing and being a part of our council, we'd love to hear from you. You can visit www.lighthousecove.org, select the Empower tab, then Lighthouse Cove Council, and you can learn more about us and submit an application. We'd love to have you. Thanks for listening to the DirectLine Podcast. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and follow the DirectLine wherever you get your podcasts and on Lighthouse Cove social media channels. We'll see you next time. Thank you.
With the launch of Lighthouse Cove, our work continues with the growing and renewed direction of our podcast, The Direct Line. With conversations, stories, and on-location interviews, The Direct Line supports the mission of Lighthouse Cove to educate, elevate, and empower professionals across the IDD field. Tune in to the DirectLine Podcast, brought to you by Lighthouse Cove every Thursday on YouTube and all other podcast platforms. Lighthouse Cove, it's more than a name. It's who we are.